Hello, my nerdy friends. I am here to film a plan with me because it is a new month for my Bookworm Life Planner. This planner is something that we talk about almost in every single one of my lives because I am literally in love with it. It is called from Peanut Butter Taco. She has an Etsy site. I will link it in this video. And this is what I use to track all of my reading. So since we are in a new month, this is how April kind of turned out for us. I did a ton of reading in April, which is so good because I love to read. So we are going to do our wrap up and get May stuff in order. So I used to write down what books I read in these little things, but I write so big that I write so big that I 90% of the time was like going off the book and it was driving me bonkers. So I started just printing a sheet of these for myself of all the books that I read for the month, and then I just stick them down in here so that way I can just kind of see at a little glance of the books that I read. So that's how I'm doing it, and that way I can remember. So there was a lot of interesting books this month. There's a lot of smut going on this month, which honestly, I've just been trying to read up the Kindle books that I own without buying a ton, because usually like you'll see this is like completely full of books that I bought because there was a deal or whatever. But I literally this month was just reading stuff that has been in my Kindle library for a while that needed to get done. Yeah, that'll work. So that's what I did. And I, listened to some and I read some, and there, that's my little wrap up for the month. So I can see which books I've read and stuff like that. And if we go back through, again, Audible, Kindle, I don't think I read an actual physical book this month. They were either all on Kindle. Oh, I did. I finished one from last month. They were either Kindle or Audible books this month. There was a lot of Audible when I was designing stuff this month. So we did a lot of new things. So this is how my monthly wrap up looks at the end of this book planner. I have the monthly only version, so I don't have the weeks pages, but this is what the weeks pages look like if you did want a weekly planner. There's one of these for every week in between the months, but I don't use this like at all. These 2 pages are always blank in mine. So I, just buy the monthly version now because that's how I like it. So monthly wrap up, obviously I'm not writing books read because they're there. Here's the books I purchased and what device they're on, stuff like that. And then May, I use this for my TBR list that I am reading for the month. And I can tell you right now that one of the books I am reading is called Weather Girl, because it is the Peanut Butter Taco book of the month. So we'll write that there, and then I will take this up upstairs and go through my books and kind of, finish up my TBR list here. So, and then they're all tabbed out and it flips into May. This is how I used to track mine. And then I said, like, there's the weekly that I don't use and then the monthly wrap up. So this month I actually made my own kit for this. So I have just been really enjoying like having some kind of color in mine. And like last month I just used a mix of like some Oop stickers that I had and some boxes and stuff like that. And then in March I used some stickers from Monica's shop, who made this planner and stuff, just, in a color theme. And then the same thing, it was for February. I used like a mix of my stuff and, other shops, but I thought it would be cool to have something a little more cohesive. So I actually like printed myself a sheet of things that I knew I was going to use, and hopefully I measured this right. We're about to find out. So, I mean, it's a little short, but I feel like it's fine. And then this one, I made go all the way to the end, which is completely fine. Okay, and then I printed myself days of the week, which we are going to put this as a Monday start, even though she has it dated the opposite way, because I have to date it, so it doesn't really matter how I date it because it's blank. So I like a Monday start. To me, Sunday is the end of the week. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a weird thing or not. I don't do any of you guys track your reading or are big readers like me? Like there's some months I can get through 10, 12 books, and then there's other months where I am struggling to finish like 4. Lately I have, like the last month, have chosen to read or listen to a book in between like cutting stock or doodling. While I'm doodling, you know, instead of putting some show on to binge, I've been like listening to Kindle books because there wasn't really anything that I was like super into on Netflix or anything. So it was kind of cool. And now there's a whole bunch of shows that just came out that I am obviously really into now. So, you know, we're gonna do all that. So this is pretty much how I set this up. I mean, it's a blank slate, and then I just will, you know, audio book, physical book, Kindle book, like whatever, started and finished on the dates that they go on. So, I mean, y'all can sit here and chat with me if you want. Have you read a book recently that you guys are loving or think that I should check out? I am not one of those kind of people who have a type of book that I like. I will pretty much read anything except for history stuff, like historical stuff. Like if I pick up a book and it says like 1939, this happened, it has to be really good for me to hold out with it the whole time, because I don't know what it is. I just get really bored with history stuff, and I don't know. I never end up finishing them, and I am also one of those people who is a big... I don't like to not finish books. Like, I'm not a DNFer. I will do it if I have to, but I would prefer not to do it. So, if it's a history book that you're recommending to me, you better make sure it's really good, because the chances of me actually finishing it are probably slim to none. If, you know, it's not something that holds my attention. So, actually, I don't want these tweezers. I want these really pointy-ass ones. So, okay, I know that Tuesday is the 2nd because it is my nephew's birthday. So we can, or Monday, I mean. Yeah, Monday is the 2nd. I did that right. And then I mean, literally just go through and put these. But yeah, so last month I've been hearing really good things about The Nightingale. And again, it's one of those books that's like based like way back when. And I thought to myself, Sherry, you're never going to read this. Like, why? You're never going to read it. And yes, I started on the 2nd because the 1st I have on the last month, and I am not carrying the 1st over here on this week to screw up my whole thing. So the 2nd is what we're starting on, which is completely fine because I did not start or finish a book on Sunday the 1st. So it's fine. Anyways, So The Nightingale, I was stoked about it. One of my good friends read it, said that she was just destroyed by the book. And my family, my grandmother actually came over here from Poland during a pretty nasty time, and was in prison camps and all kinds of stuff like that, and came in through New York. Thank goodness, because that is, you know, obviously if she would have never done that, I would not be here because she would have never had my mom. So it was a tough read for me, but I knew 100% that there was no way I was going to be able to follow that book in Kindle or like as a physical book. It's not my typical kind of read because, like I said, not into historical stuff. You know, super fantasy is the other one that I'm not super into either. Like dungeons, dragons, fairies, like that kind of stuff. Like witches. Like I don't know, man. I can't get into it. Like I will watch the Twilight movies with the best of them, but for me to sit down and read that book, I struggle with it. And it's the same thing with Harry Potter. Like we love some Harry Potter movies up in this house, but to sit down and read that book, I just get bored. I don't know. So I bought The Nightingale on Audible. Or I think actually somebody gifted it to me in the Wishlist Wednesday. If they hadn't, I was going to purchase it on Audible. It might have been Heather, actually. we do that wish list Wednesday in our group. And anyways, I started it and I was like, oh, this is going to be hard to get into. So it took me a little bit, but I kept like every time I was ready to listen to something, I would just put it on and I'm like, it's fine. Like you'll get through it. And eventually I got pretty hooked on it and finished the book relatively quickly, for something that is not in my, normal wheelhouse. So I did really enjoy that book. Beauty and the Baller I also really enjoyed, but pretty much any book about football I'm in. Like I'm so in. Like I don't care if it's a 400-page series. I am in all the way if it is something about football. Real, fake, doesn't matter. Especially when football season gets closer, I start reading lots of books about football and stuff like that. So, is there 31 days in May? I don't even know. I guess I could look at my other planner and then it would tell me, wouldn't it? But I feel like there's not 31 days in May and I am just overthinking the shit out of this. So let's see. There is 31 days in May. I did not overthink it. And I just pulled these off of a kit from a mini planner kit that I had because I'm not going to be dating a monthly in that spread. So that's how my monthly gets set up. And then, like I said, I just, like when I'm carrying books over, I kind of do this ordeal where, I'm starting a book, whatever. I have a book that I'm almost done reading. So I'm sure tomorrow I will be, filming or putting a sticker in here to, start or finish a book. And then that's how things go. And then as the month progresses, I just print my monthly wrap up, write the books I'm purchasing and stuff like that. And it's good to go. So if you're interested in a book planner or you want to track what you're reading, highly recommend. Again, it is called the Bookworm Life Planner. It is from Peanut Butter Taco. She has a shop on Etsy that will be linked over in the side. And if there are enough of you that are using this and would like me to start making the kits for the monthly view, you just let me know and it was something that I will work on. So that's it. We're tracking reading. Huge reader. If you have any book recommendations, please share them. And if you are looking for a book planner, go check out Monica's from Peanut Butter Taco called The Bookworm Life. 5 stars from me. Peace out, nerds.